Good morning. 7:59 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Tuesday, October 15th, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So I'd like to wish a good morning to everybody. As we can see, XRP is down 2.41% on the day, just about the 53.5 cent mark. We were very observant the last week or two. We realized that we had an FVG gap that needed to be filled. It came up high enough. We were targeting around that 55.9, but we've talked very extensively about that 55.5, even that could get stopped back here. So we talked yesterday in the later update before the live, and I talked about how it's very dangerous to go long now, because if it gets a rejection here, instead of buying it from down here, everybody was starting to buy it up in the 55s, 54.5, and it made a push to 55.5, created the top, and then created the shoulder. And now if we lose this uptrending support down here around 53.3 cents, that's going to open up this bear flag drop. And it's going to start the first layer drop. Now, not exactly sure where it's at. We had this down here. Must have been deleted somehow. But in recent times, the first level would be around 49.4 cent area. And the only reason why I wasn't willing to say this was going to happen before is we talked about the gap that needed to be filled. It's not because I didn't think we were bearish. It's because we thought that a gap had to be filled around 55.5, 56 cents, somewhere around that area. It came up to 55.5 cents roughly. It filled that FVG gap at the lower level that I've been talking about for 2 weeks. Or ever since this bear flag started forming, not quite 2 weeks. Oh, actually, you know what? It's been about 12 days now, but I started talking about it down here when it started to give this pullback. So we filled that fair value gap, in my opinion. And now that opens up the door to a pretty nice drop, because we did not push up and over. It's not that we can't do it still. It's just right now it's looking a little ominous. We have that dot cross. We talked about if we got rejected at the dot cross. Let me get rid of this just so it's easier to see. And if you don't know what a dot cross is, it's pretty simple. As far as when you're using the exponential moving averages, the EMA, you got the 20-day, which is the red line, the 50-day, which is the orange line, the 100-day, which is this light green line or blue, light blue, and then the 200 is that dark blue line. If this 20-day, which is the 20-day moving average going 20 days out, crosses the one going 200 days out and crosses below it, or crossing to push below it, that's considered a death cross. That's a pattern confirmation that the short-term moving averages are now completed into the higher term, and now we have a short-term pattern flip. And the only way to invalidate this would be to get above the 200-day here and reverse it. Well, we hit it and we got rejected. These are often what happens right before you have the continuation down. So now our focus now isn't changing. It's exactly what we talked about before the push up, except now we got that rejection on the FVG gap. Now, first target would be down to 49.47 if we lose this support area. There's no guarantee we lose it, but this little turnaround here is not a good sign, especially in a much larger bear flag. So literally in the title today, you're going to just see XRP. I'm going to put something about a warning with this bear flag again, because now that we filled this FVG gap, it can start to do some deeper damage. The fact that we've reversed down better than 2.3% on the morning, or let's just say better than 2%, not the best sign. Because if we were going to hold this pattern breakout, it would have been held up here at 54.3 cents. It looks like we're trending to the downside here a little bit. 30-minute, we're getting into oversold just a little bit. But the rest of them, I mean, this is perfect conditions right now to come down. 49.87, which lines up pretty good right now, because that's the 2018 resistance that's still supporting. That's at 50.2 cents. So this is lining up pretty good for us right now, for us to come back test here if we can hold it. But this is going to end up being a little interesting today. After that push up yesterday, all bets are off. Like, we filled that FVG gap. Now, either this is a extreme pullback to get some more volatility for a further push up, or this depth cross is going to play out. The fact we did not invalidate this depth cross, and it's a little painful sometimes when you start to realize what's going on. But with that depth cross, it came up for a rejection. That's typically what happens if an asset is going to continue its bearish thesis. Now we could still invalidate the drop, but we do need to get up above 56 and ultimately 58, almost 59 cent area to start pushing the opposite way. We actually need to get over 61 to invalidate this. But we tried the short-term move, but it's just, it's going to be dangerous. Oops. It's going to be dangerous. So that's why I said yesterday it's very dangerous to buy after it made the run up to over 55 cents already, because that's the way it floats. That's the way it floats. If you're looking for some deeper guidance, you can always join Tom's Army. There are different options that aren't available as far as my trading pool. So look in the video description below. If you need a little help, go on BLOFIN, but you're going to have to do it through, just go into the members only video so you can get some guidance. But you're going to have to join Tom's Army to do that. If you need any other incentive besides a little extra guidance, to be in Tom's Army, you get the videos 30 minutes before everybody else. So maybe it would be peril for you to get this video 30 minutes before you're going to, because you're not in Tom's Army. And when the charts are moving in a direction like this, or moving as quickly as they are, it's best to get the information as soon as possible. So while we're going through the checks and balances on YouTube, take advantage of the fact you can get the content privately when before the public by half an hour while the checks and balances are going on. And it's very, very important. It's a great way to show your support for my program, but also it's a great way for you to get additional information quicker before YouTube has to get done with its stuff. So it's a true advantage. It's a mover's advantage, I like to call it. If you're looking to trade XRP worldwide, in the USA even, video description below and our pinned comments, look for BITUNIX. That's my most trusted. If you're a newer trader, it's the easiest to use, most transparent. Spot and leverage, especially on the leverage side. If you're new, that's the easiest one to understand. But I encourage you to do spot. No VPN or KYC needed unless you send a receipt from a bank account. There's also HOTCOIN and then BLOFIN if you want to do some other things. Join my team when I do my trading, but that you won't even know about. You're going to have to look at the members only videos, but if you're not part of Tom's Army, you're not even going to know about that. So, you know, it's encouraging to have people in Tom's Army because there's a lot more than what you see here. I give out all the information for every single, for my charts, but there's a lot of stuff I do personally that you can't do unless you're part of Tom's Army. Unfortunately, we've had a lot of bad actors, so we've had to go this route. So, in conclusion, before I release this, XRP down 2.04%. If you see XRP get below 53.4 cents, look out. Look out. We're coming down to at least 50 cents if that happens. You know, if we invalidate that structure and we get the proper rejection. This would be the start of the bear flag playing out, and it ultimately finishes down around 40.4 cents. That's how big of a bear flag this is. So that's why I've been warning about the possible 23% drop, but I talked about the in-between with the fair value gap because I completely and I 100% anticipated that fair value gap. So now that that's filled out, there's nothing left for me to say that, oh, it's going to go to the upside now. There's really no reason for the formation to do that unless it wants to somehow try to break out. Because right now, Bitcoin, even though it's got a bullish cup and handle, it's got to come down to like 64,000. What is this? Even if bullish, you would expect it to come back down near that 64,000 area. With that massive W reversal, massive bull flag. It seems like it would have to come back somewhere around 64,000. But it could fall right through, you don't know. But there's still the movement up to 68K. XRP's chart is not broken yet. It's just we're getting to an area where if it gets any farther, like 53.4 cents, it could start that eventual bear flag drop. So I'm XRP Future Millionaire. Please make sure you hit that like button if you're watching this morning update. I would greatly appreciate it. By you hitting that like button, it allows me to pop through the analytics, and then I become part of the recommendations, which means when you go through YouTube on the news feed, my content pops up. Without my content popping up on the news feed, the newer and older viewers wouldn't even remember me. Because if they're not being told, most people won't come back. So, out of sight, out of mind. So, on the screen, we got a chance. So remember, positivity over negativity, and if you made it until the end, hashtag be better, do better in the comments.